I will rebuild!
Hey everyone, hope you're having an awesome day today. In today's episode, episode 23, we're going to be looking at days 86 through 90, so let's check it out. Began the day with level 77 fletching, nothing really too important there, nothing too special, but after that I went to the Citadel. While I was capping, I got to level 73 smithing, that's pretty cool. Smithing is a pretty expensive skill, so to be able to get a little bit of a head start there in smithing XP was pretty nice. While I was capping, though, I kind of had to alternate my smithing and my mining just due to the amount of resources that were there. I needed to mine the ore in order to smith it, and so on. It just kind of became a battle of with what was locked and what was unlocked. But anyway, I wound up getting 67k mining XP, which is kind of what I was trying to focus on because of the Prifdinus requirement, and 55k smithing XP along the way. So really not bad at all. Had a clan dungeoneering event, so I did a few floors along the way, got to level 78 dungeoneering, making some cool steady progress there, and then after that it was back to the Ectophontus for some prayer XP. Got to level 74, nothing too important there, but then I got to level 75. 75 is the big one. This is what I needed for the Prifdinus requirement, for the Plague's End quest requirement. Level 75 prayer, only a few skills holding me back at this point, so that is super, super cool. I tried to do another Fight Caves run on stream while I was going through the run, though. I got to level 81 magic, which is pretty cool. Can not only use Tsunami, but can also use Air Surge, so a good boost there. Really nice to get that level. And then I actually did make it all the way to Jet. I was doing super well in this Fight Cave run. Not trying to like boast or anything, but I feel like for tier 70 gear and for someone who isn't really a PVMer, I was doing pretty well. I had lured Jad properly. I had my prayer switches and everything going beautifully. I took care of the healers. Only issues that I actually ran out of prayer points. I didn't bring my Vecna Skull, so I wasn't damaging as much as I could have been. And I also only had 2 prayer potions with me. I should have brought more. Big mistake on my part. I should have had more, and maybe earlier in the Fight Caves I should have been using less prayer and just focused on using more food. Regardless, though, had made a lot of progress, and now I know the next time I go, it should really, really be easy. There should be no reason to mess it up a third time. Decided to knock out a couple quests after that, though. I did Catapult Construction, and then I went on to do Making History after that. These in themselves are not really important quests. They're just important for making progress into a quest series to unlock more important quests later on, so that's really the only reason I went into doing them. Doing a Bando's Death Task with my friend, got to level 74 Strength, so that was pretty cool, and then shortly after that we got a Bando's Gloves drop. Pretty good drop, can't really complain. Much better than getting a hilt or a war shield, so again, no reason to complain. Very happy with that one. Another 12k Slayer XP from completing this task, and this was my 10th Reaper task completed as well, so an extra 10 Reaper points really great, making that progress toward that Hydrix whenever I will finally be able to buy that one. And it just kind of goes to show how good of XP Bandos really can be, even at garbage levels like me. Got to 79 HP, also brought me to 108 combat, making just beautiful, beautiful progress. Now I was actually streaming this, and basically what happened was there were some restores on the ground, and being the cheap person I am, I try to loot as much as I can. So I go to pick some restores, and my buddy says, you might not want to stand right there. And I'm like, but I need to loot these restores. And as soon as I go to pick them up, Bandos spawns and he bobs me for my full health bar at like 2.5k, and I just drop. It was absolutely hysterical. I was just in hysterics laughing so hard. And then I'm sitting in Death's office on stream laughing my ass off, right? And then Mike finishes the kill, and we get a fucking drop after that. We get another glove drop, and it was just absolutely hysterical. I was crying. It was one of the best things that has ever happened to me on this game to date. So even though the instance did end a little bit early, I'm not sure if we were very close to the end of the instance or what the deal was. Regardless, though, 1.85 mil split for the two of us, really not bad at all. Quite happy with that loot, especially considering the past couple instances we had in the last episode. They were very bad. This is just very refreshing to finally get some good money. This was well after reset, so I got another Reaper task. It was a King Black Dragon task. I tried to do it. I did actually complete the task. Only 7,000 Slayer XP. Was not a big fan of this task just because I don't have super anti-fire, so I needed to be one-handing everything, which I'm really not a big fan of. I'd rather use dual-wielding or two-handed weapons. So maybe I'll try and put this off until I have super anti-fires, but we'll see. Now, if you guys remember, in last episode, I did get a Charming Imp, which means it's safe for me to finally go to the Abyss and to be relatively efficient with my time there. I got a Strength level, which was really cool. I was also getting the really nice rune crafting pouches, which I should have been getting a long time ago. These are just going to make doing my Wicked Hood runs just that much better. Anyway, though, 75 Strength was important because it is the last requirements I need for Blood Run Steep as far as level requirements go. I'm sure I need quest requirements beforehand. Also requirement for the Lord of Vampyrian. This is the new vampire quest. It's actually a pretty important and worth it quest, if I remember correctly, so it's good to be getting progress toward that as well. I went back to the Abyss, got to level 76 strength, nothing really too special there. I mean, I can now barehand catch sharks, but I don't really know if or when I'll ever bother doing that. Regardless, though, that was the end of day 86 at 1980 total level, just short of 45 mil total XP. Let's jump into day 87 and see how it goes. Now, I put in an offer for a bond. The reason for this is pretty much just because I've been instant buying or very quickly non-instant buying all of the bonds I've had. Pretty much just as I've needed them. And I don't think that's a very smart way to be doing this. I have the money laying around. I should put in an offer and try to get my bonds at a decent price, save myself a little bit of money instead of waiting until the last second and just being desperate. So that's what I did here. I bought another bond. Again, this was probably 3, 4, maybe even 5 days before I needed a new bond. So pretty cool to get a little bit ahead of the game in that aspect. Went back to the Abyss and got to level 77 strength. This is actually pretty important because this is the last skill requirement I need to do King of the Dwarves. And this is the quest that unlocks the lava flow mine, which is going to be the best way for me to train mining until level 77 or 80, whichever I decide to go to the Living Rock Caverns with. I was actually very surprised when I heard from a friend of mine that you only need like 60-something mining to mine in the Living Rock, or not the Living Rock Caverns, the lava flow mine. So I had been just camping granite. I thought you needed 77 or 76 or something mining for the lava flow mine. So I was very misinformed there. Hopefully I'll be making progress toward this quest in the near future, but again, I'm only 1 level away from the Proof Dennis requirement anyway, so it's going to be a while until I do any really long-term mining for a while. Went back to finishing that Water Fiends task I was working on at some point in my last episode. Got to level 77 range, which is pretty cool. Also got level 70 Slayer incredibly shortly after that. I kind of expected to unlock more with 70 Slayer, but I guess you only get Kurasks at that point. I don't know why I thought 70 would be like an important milestone. I guess it really wasn't, but unlucky there. After that, though, had finished my 44th Slayer task, which is pretty cool, making a lot of progress. I want to be saving up my Slayer points to be upgrading my Slayer helm and buying things like the ability to make Slayer rings. It's going to be a while before I can buy any sort of nice things like putting my Charming Imp into my tool belt, things like that, but getting Slayer points is always great. A little prayer at the Ectofuntus got me to level 76 prayer, which is nice. And then doing Tears of Guthix got me 15k thieving XP, just short of a level. I was pretty salty that I didn't get a level there, but that's alright, just that much closer for whenever I do need to train thieving. This is one of the few skills holding me back from 70's cape, so hopefully I'll get around to working on this soon. Back to the Ectofunctus, got to level 77 and 78 prayer, really good progress. I want to be taking advantage of this as much as I can. I know I've said this before, but basically this Ectofunctus is obviously, Ectofuntus is more XP than a Gilded Altar, but it's also much easier to use than the Ectofuntus in Port Phastasmus. So if I can take advantage of this, not only is this going to save me a lot of time, but also a lot of money. I finished a cooking daily challenge, which was nice. Turning this in gave me just a bunch of XP, like 71k XP or something like that. It's just ridiculous how good daily challenges can be at higher levels. Regardless, though, this got me to 86 cooking, really nice. Still one of my higher skills, happy to finally make progress in this. Have not been doing nearly as much cooking as I was early in this account, but it's good to still see some steady progress. That was the end of day 87, though, at 1987 total level, just short of 46 mil XP this time. You can see just about 1 mil XP in this day was pretty cool. At least at these levels anyway, it feels like 1 mil XP per day isn't too bad. I know at higher levels getting that is just easy. It's pretty much standard. But for me, that's pretty good progress. Began day 88 with 74 Hunter from my daily divine location, and then went on to get level 79 Prayer at the Ectofuntus. Went on to complete the Big Chompy Bird Hunting quest. Again, this is not really an important quest in itself, but it's required for other quests. I believe it's required somewhere in the Elf City questline, so I'm pretty sure that's why I went along to do it. Anyway, though, went on to work on a Bandos instance for part of a death task. Got to level 77 attack, which is pretty nice. As per usual, though, garbage drops after garbage drops. We got a Bandos hilt. Not really anything special, nothing to say here. Sadly, though, the instance was not set to be the perfect ideal situation. We were on fast instead of fastest due to a misclick. Obviously, no stress on my buddy who said it. And we wound up leaving early, partially because of that, partially just because it was kind of a pain in the ass. Only a 720k split or so between the two of us. Nothing special, but I mean, it's still profit, still making some money. Can't really complain too much. At this point, I was working on a Black Demon task for my Raptor task, not a regular Slayer task. This is for the Raptor I don't want to say event, but the Raptor Slayer theme thing going on throughout November. And 80 hit points is actually a requirement for all of the next gear. It's going to be a long time until I ever bother with next gear, if ever. But it's still pretty cool. 80 hit points in itself is nice, so it's just a nice milestone to hit. Also got level 71 Slayer before the day came to a close at 1992 total level, 46.6 mil total XP. That total level is getting dangerously close to 2000, and it is just looking so, so good. Began day 89 with 80 prayer. Pretty cool milestone. Doesn't unlock anything super important. I mean, it does unlock some of the new prayers from the Light Within, but it's going to be ages until I complete this quest. However, another prayer level, really, really nice. Working on that raptor task again, though, got to level 78 ranged, cool milestone, and then I completed my first raptor task. I believe this was my first raptor task. Really good XP just throughout this entire task. I didn't keep track of it, but again, you guys saw I was getting plenty of levels, whole bunch of Slayer XP, absolutely beautiful. I think I was testing different runes to see what the sort of profit would be if I was to train runecrafting through the Abyss. I know cosmics are supposed to be pretty good, but regardless, a lost spirit appeared as part of the Halloween event, and getting the XP from it got me to level 74 summoning. This is such a good milestone because now I can make granite lobsters. These are one of the best pouches to make up until pretty much pack yaks. So to be able to get to 74 from incredibly low summoning levels without actively training it other than daily challenges and putting free XP into it is just monumental. At this point, I don't think I even need to bother putting free XP into summoning. I'm only one level away from the Plague's End requirement, so I can do that with the charms that I have. Any other free XP I have, I think I'm going to put into Herblore, pretty much just because it's an expensive skill. I don't really want to be chucking a whole bunch of money into it, and again, I can train summoning from this point up on my own relatively easily, so this is just absolutely monumental. Got 81 prayer, didn't really unlock anything at all, but then I went back to the Grand Exchange and I had finally sold my Armadyl God Swords. You guys told me in the comments it was an overwhelmingly positive response that I should keep them. I'm not going to make a habit out of it. I wasn't begging, it wasn't leeching. It's all right to, have been lucky enough to get something like this in a drop party. You guys aren't upset at me for that. I thank you. Pretty much 6 mil. This is going to be a great boost toward prayer. This is pretty much 3,000, I think around 3,000 or more ashes, so call it 650k, no, 750k, maybe slightly more prayer XP. Really great boost. Did the sheep herder quest, very tedious. Actually, you know what, this quest actually was not that bad. This quest was pretty easy. It was a lot shorter than I expected it to be, but after that I did Morning Ends Part 1. This was very tedious. I do not like this quest at all. This is when the elf quests start to become a giant pain in the ass, actually. But I did get it done, making great progress toward that elf quest line, just getting very, very close to where I need to be for Prifddinas. Only a few quests left, a few skills left to get to 75. It is getting just dangerously close and very exciting. As Zamorak for a death task, completed that task, another 12,000 XP, bringing me dangerously close to a level, which was really nice, but then I realized, shortly after that I also had a greater demon task stacking on top of that. I should have brought my Slayer Helm, completely forgot it. This did get me to level 60, or 72 Slayer, though, which is pretty cool. In that same kill, got my first Zamorak War Priest piece, which was the legs. Pretty cool to get that as well. I'm just stacking up different hybrid armor at this point. It would be nice for me to finish a full set, but I don't know if or when that's going to happen. A little while after that, though, got to 82 magic and 110 combat. Really great progress. These Reaper tasks are just so beneficial. I should have been doing them a long time ago. These are just so, so good for my account, and it's actually pretty fun to go and do some God Wars Dungeon with friends as well, so I would highly recommend doing it if you're not already. We did not get any special drops at all during this instance, though, so between I think it was 3 of us, maybe only 2. Regardless, though, 890k split for me. Nothing special, but I mean, it is still profit. It does add up. It's making great money to go toward prayer, to go toward bonds, to go toward any sort of buyables, maybe gear. Still nice. Now, at this point, I was just so incredibly close to a rune crafting level, I decided to hit the Abyss, do a couple runs of blood runes. I got to level 81 rune crafting. Pretty cool. Doesn't unlock anything very special, but the big thing about this is I broke the 2,000 total level milestone. I am just so excited to look at that 2,110, 165 quest points. It just looks so, so good. And the fact that I've come here in 89 days, it's just been so overwhelmingly drastic progress. It is so exciting, and I'm just so hyped and pumped about this. I am just absolutely stoked. That single 2 right there looks so good, and I cannot wait to hit the 2,100, 2,200 total level milestones. And again, I am just so, so happy about this. That was the end of day 89. Now again, 2k total level, 47.475 mil total XP. Such good progress. Let's jump into day 90, the last day of this episode, and see what we got. Began the day with 7,000 Slayer XP from a Mole Reaper task. Absolutely disgusting task. Was not having any fun with it, but you know what? You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. 79 dungeoneering from a couple floors, able to access floor 40 now, which is pretty cool. After that, though, I was working on some thieving. This was for a daily challenge, I believe. Got to level 62, good progress. Again, this is my lowest skill. It's holding me back a lot. And this was also the last requirement I needed for the last mini quest for the buyers and sellers, pretty much improving the thieving guild. So really nice for me to be able to do this. I haven't done this yet. Would really like to get to do that in the near future. And just overall, really great to get this level. Turning in this challenge got me to level 63 thieving, which is great. Again, this and Herblore are the only things holding me back from 70s Cape. If I could grind out some great thieving XP, that would just be absolutely beautiful. 70s Cape would look so, so nice. Went to do a couple quests, got Death to the Dorgishan done, and after that I did a Giant Dwarf. Really good, important quests. These are just very fundamental quests you need to do to make progress into several quest lines, so good to make progress in these, getting these done. After that, though, that was the end of day 90. And in turn, of course, the end of today's episode at 2003 total level, just about 47.9 mil total XP. We have made monumental, absolutely monumental progress in this episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, even a fraction as much as I have. Again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all of the support. If you guys did enjoy the episode, make sure to leave a like or a favorite. It helps me out so much. Have a beautiful day. Again, thank you for watching, and stay happy. Make sure you tune into next episode where I will return and I will rebuild.